On purpose, I mean, the whole
It's back to the beginning now. Whoa, this was pretty deep. I mean, yeah. That's not something you tell everyone you meet, right? What's this?
How much validation I get, none of it will be ever enough to make me a whole, completely happy person whose life is somehow fulfilled. It's also a scary thought. I mean, like, what if I'm met with all this praise and attaboys and I need to feel good about myself? It wouldn't matter because I don't like myself. The audience there or not, it doesn't really matter, but they're still there, aren't they? Watching, waiting, wanting, craving, and molding artists to who they want them to be. Demanding. That's the audience. Demanding. I need validation from the audience, from the fact that someone played any of my games, because if my game's existence are validated, then I am as well, because the only real reason I get up in the morning and make the active choice to live, to get out of bed, to actually be productive, be a member of society, is to work on my game. And I'll be fine no matter what. I mean, if I wasn't here, that wouldn't really be fair to my game, the potential of the game. It needs to be finished, and since no game was ever finished, it's a cruising, ongoing existence. The audience in general, everyone except me, and they aren't all that bad. Like best players playing a game of mine, it's a conversation, a dialogue. However, no matter how much validation I get, none of it will be ever enough to make me a whole, complete, happy person whose life is somehow fulfilled. It's also a scary thought. I mean, like, what if I'm met with all this praise and attaboys and I need to feel good about myself? It wouldn't matter because I don't like myself. The audience there or not, it doesn't really matter, but they're still there, aren't they? Watching, waiting, wanting, craving, and molding artists to who they want them to be. That's the audience. Demanding.
No, this is half a door.
Because if my game's existence are validated, then I am as well. Because the only
You know what he says is probably true for most of us. For me as well, I guess. For everyone.
I wanted to live in an RV, headed to nowhere, to making games in a row, rent an apartment together like hermits, and spend a few years making our magnum opus, a masterpiece, and become the next Mojang. It was a pretty romantic dream. After a while, though, Matisse started to resent me, hated me, even befriended me and blocked me on social media a few times. I always forgave him, but he left ESA due to his low grades, and I try to help him, but I partly feel responsible. I mean, I still talk to him time to time, but conversations are pretty one-sided and die out very quickly. Those dreams are lost. Right now, I'm just trying not to dream as much, trying not to create a plan, because I know it won't really work out ever. What can go wrong will go wrong, so focus on now, take joy in living life. After all, my first game didn't really have a good ending to begin with. I wanted to live in an RV, headed to nowhere, Matisse, making games in a row, rent an apartment together like hermits, and spend a few years making our own back.
Alright. Is there another soundbite to listen to?
Mutual understanding in this body-focused digital age of dating. I'm afraid that I won't amount to anything at all. I am my work, and my work is me, so if my work is nowhere, then who am I? Tell what you are afraid of. Dying alone, with my work unknown to the general public, left as less than a footnote to history, with having made no influence on the opinion of video games art or any other artist's work. I am also afraid of intimacy, yet I crave it. Even when I have the opportunity, I don't jump, I run. However, I'm not one for meaningless hookups, which leaves me in an upper place of finite connection and mutual understanding in this body-focused digital age of dating. I'm afraid that I won't amount to anything at all. I am my work, and my work is me, so my work is nowhere, and who am I? Someone other than myself. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Everything matters. But as long as I keep on creating, I never stop. I will always exist. My artistic voice is my salvation. My artistic voice is my sanctuary. My artistic voice is my survival. My artistic voice is me. It always has been. It always will be. What is my artistic voice? It's the fact that I don't have to really worry about the first
Okay. Some of these things he said are really self-destructive, and that's kinda sad. Because I think there are a lot of people out there who strive to be good with what they're doing, and that's a good thing. You need to motivate yourself, you need a reason to get up in the morning, you need to want to do something. To be a better person, to do something others can admire and appreciate, and there's a point you can get to where it just gets too far, where you're not creating for the sake of creating something good anymore, but to self-validate, as he said, and if you're not getting what you're needing at that moment, it can get very dark very fast, I think. And there are probably a lot of people, in this case probably game developers out there, who are breaking apart at this. No one plays the games, they don't know why they spend so much time and resources on making something no one wanted in the first place. That's sad. He talked about his first game and how it didn't have a start or an ending and it wasn't as successful. I hope it will be different for this one, and it already looks like it is.
Art for art's sake. It's art for my sake. I think the revelation is that self-destruction isn't all about depression. That nothingness, it's the exact opposite. Depending on how far you push yourself, eventually at the end of it, if you've made it, you'll have a second chance on life, a fresh start. It's my pure form of existentialism in practice, and I think by actually physically destroying physical carbon-based accounts of my work on art, not games, people will actually see myself, my work, my time be erased and torn to literal pieces in an instant. Tons upon tons of drawings that have taken me hours, sketches, all ripped to shreds in a second. And you know what? I felt the same thing back then. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel bad, nor I'd say good, but I felt relieving. I mean, so much time, so much effort, so much expectation were put on these works. They're gone. Create again. Not that big of a loss. And it's good to know that I can do that. I have control of my art. No longer is it a to-do list. It's actually me making art for myself again. It's not trying to be perfect, trying to be polished. It's art for art's sake. It's art for my sake. I think the revelation is that self-destruction
It's a good attitude, you know, art for art's sake, art for myself. That's how you should do it. If you do something good while doing it, well done, but if it's nothing special, then that's not too bad either, because you did it. You did art. You did art for yourself, and the process is what matters, I guess. There's another one here.
Over time you get used to it, and eventually my happiness isn't in my control as it was before. So that's what this game is. Just telling you everything about me and giving you a sense of who I am. This game, my voice is my way of communicating without the messy interaction of actually talking to people, not just making jokes or being quiet. My artistic voice is the only real voice I have right now, and that ties in who I am and my personality. I mean, I want so badly to have intimacy, to have an actual good relationship, a deep mutual understanding of someone, but I'm scared of it, so I run, I fight, and I keep on doing it because it's a safe solution, except for it's not, because over time you get used to it, and eventually my happiness isn't in my control as it was before. So that's what this game is. Just telling you everything about me and giving you a sense of who I am. This game, my voice is my way of communicating.
Now, are there any more? No, there's an invisible wall. I like the music, but I think in this sequence it's a little bit too loud. I would have liked to understand the voices more, and especially if you find a single voice to listen to. It's still nice, don't get me wrong, I like the music. But there wasn't a setting to turn it down a bit, at least I didn't find one. I'm just searching if there isn't anything I haven't heard before. Is there any indication to where?
What I'm going to do the next few years of my life. It's scary, but I have a plan. Sort of. This is my plan. This game right here. Everyone goes out looking at the success stories, but they forget all the outliers, and that the world isn't a fair one. It's optimistic statistics that you actually, repeat to yourself to keep you going. It's naive, and no longer am I. I think I almost grew up faster than I should have. And now I'm trying to make games that impress colleges, so we get money to go to them, but the game industry as it is now, all the colleges aren't very good. I don't really want to say it that way, but I mean, it's true. Anything you can learn at college, you can learn for free at home, and you won't be in debt. You may not have a degree, except for a degree in game design isn't really a useful one. So walking through the door of a job. I mean, everyone in the industry right now probably doesn't even have one because, let's face it, it's such a new industry, and game schools are even newer. So the veterans who've been there for over 10 years obviously did not get a degree in that. I mean, everyone I know either got a degree in physics or maybe something in movies and hated it and went to games. And here I am, at a crossroads, figuring out what I'm going to do the next few years of my life. It's scary, but I have a plan, sort of.
Let's hope his plan works out for him, right?
And it's a vicious cycle that never ends. The sad part is the audience is actually in love with the concept of torture artists making the best work of their life. They commend it. They want more of it. They think it's okay. Because art is just a resource, and those who make it aren't just actual people and they're not visible nor credited as other art forms have them. I just want to share this truth. Hopefully get some recognition and recognition for the others who have come before me. That's what this is. When I tell someone that I'm a game designer, they go, "Oh, cool, so you like play games and stuff all day, that sounds fun." Game development is the most difficult art form to master. Not only do you have to worry about being an incredibly talented person in visual arts, writing, and composition, but you also need to be extremely smart for the technical side of it. It's a job that requires immense dedication, time, and patience. Artists usually live and make a living by selling the work at a day rate, since pieces usually only take a day. Actors usually take between a month or two per production, and so on and so on. Developers take years, with up to 100-hour work weeks, and they do it for the love of the project. Eventually, when you're the only one working on something that close to you, you grow with it. It grows with you, and part of you. And you become depressed because all the sensitive pressures of the audience, those who think you create everything for them the way they want it, because they're the consumer, and therefore everything they say is right, whether you make a living or not. What do? You take it out in the work, call it shit, and it's a vicious cycle that never ends. The sad part is the audience is actually in love with the concept of the tortured artist, making the best work of their life. They commend it, they want more of it, they think it's okay. Because art is just a resource, and those who make it art use actual people, and not visible nor credited as other
Okay. The door is still incomplete. Did I miss anything?
It needs to be finished, and since no game was ever finished, it's
What's this? Grab shoe. Oh. Do I have to do anything with this shoe? Wait, is this... Yeah. Do I have to bring this shoe to the door?
the fact that someone played any of my games, because if my game's existence are validated, then I am as well, because the only real reason I get up and make the active choice to live, to get up,
Let's leave it here for now, while we try to figure out
being a member of society is
where to go from here on. You know, I really appreciate what he's telling us and his story, but you feel kinda lost doing this and not knowing if there's anything else you could listen to, and of course you don't want to miss anything.
place to find that connection and mutual understanding in this body-focused digital age of dating. I'm afraid that I won't amount to anything at all. Right now, I'm just trying not to stream as much.
Just a little indication where
I know it won't really work out.
anything could be would have been really nice.
For all my skin didn't
So I guess
have a good ending to begin with.
this is what it means to be artsy, you know? Making artful
Stop,
games.
Work on everything.
This is where we came from. Can I go up there again? Doesn't look like it. Oh, shit. Now we could skip the level, I think. Yeah, we could skip this. But I really don't want to. I'd rather cut out what's excessive than to skip this. There has to be a clue. There has to be a way to progress, right?